Welcome to the 19th Annual Turtle Creek Association's Tour of Homes.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn White. We're glad to have you with us. I'm your co-host today, and this guy is somebody you need to know.
I'm JD Trueblood. I'm a co-host, but I'm also the president and CEO of this nonprofit. Our mission is to preserve, protect, and enhance the Turtle Creek Corridor. As you know, we normally hold this event in the spring, but unfortunately, COVID changed that. So we moved it to the fall thinking that we could still have a live event. But again, COVID is still with us. Canceling this event just wasn't an option. This tour is our number one fundraiser. We need those funds to take care of this beautiful park. As we sat around talking about exactly what we wanted to do, we knew it had to be very special because this is Turtle Creek after all. So we turned to a pro, an Emmy award-winning pro, Jocelyn White.
Thanks, JD. You know, I tour beautiful homes for a living on my TV show, Designing Texas, but none more amazing than the ones we're going to share with you today. From high-rise havens in the sky to one with a Turtle Creek setting very close by, we have an intriguing variety of spaces and places to share. Now, some are private, some are on the market, but all of them are extraordinary.
Do you have a favorite?
Not yet.
Well, maybe we need to keep that to the end anyway. All right, so what do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's get on with the show.
Up first, the Vendome. This venerable high-rise has been on the corner of Turtle Creek Boulevard and Lemon Avenue for several decades now. It has expansive apartments with gorgeous views, and the unit we'll share with you today is something really special. It's been totally redone, has a Clive Christian kitchen. It's tour time.
When the Vendome opened in 2002, it really set a new level of luxury living for high-rises here in Dallas. It's been referred to as the jewel of Turtle Creek. And the person who started calling it that was our own Judy Pittman, who helped start Turtle Creek Association and the Turtle Creek Home Tour. And Judy was the exclusive broker when the building first opened. And she saw to it that the entire building was done first class. Penthouse 18C here at the Vendome is very special for a number of reasons. First of all, it's one of the largest high-rise homes on Turtle Creek. It's over 6,000 square feet. It has 4 bedrooms, 4 full baths, 2 half baths, and it has 2 wine closets that hold over 2,200 bottles of wine.
The home, I believe, was last remodeled in 2010-ish or so. So we wanted to really come through and really lighten and brighten it up and bring it to today's standards. You know, it had a lot of fabric walls, things of that nature. So we removed that and put a nice, light, fresh coat of paint on it just to lighten up the space and make it feel more airy. This particular unit is just full of windows with great views of downtown, and it really just maximizes, the great Turtle Creek location that it's in. This is a home in the sky. It's 6,600 square feet, and it's laid out very nicely.
One of my favorite things about this home is the custom stairwell. That's almost like a work of art. It's made out of brass and wood and was custom designed for the home. So if you don't want to get on the elevator and go from floor to floor, you can just run up and down these beautiful stairs. The wall is some very special paneling that the original owners had custom designed to put into this gallery. And there is a hidden partition that is a shortcut into the huge master suite and a very large master closet.
The home was done to such a high level and high quality. There were certain items that you just didn't want to take from the home, regardless. So the wood floors being one of those. It's just a very nice natural wood floor throughout that we just thought that really needed to stay with the home. Also, the kitchen has very high-end cabinetry. We did reconfigure it some with modernizing the island and some of the appliances, but the cabinets were very nice. We wanted to keep those as well. We did put a new finish on them just to bring them up to date. This master bath is very, very high quality with the gold fixtures and the marble throughout. It's just surrounded in marble. That is one thing that we also wanted to keep as well because we just thought it added so much character to the home.
The second floor of the penthouse was designed for entertaining. It does have direct elevator access into both levels. But if you're having a party, you can take the elevator from the beautiful lobby directly up to the 19th floor. And it is a media room, it's the wine room, and it's 3 guest suites.
I think it's safe to say that living here is like being at a resort 24/7, or perhaps indulging in a never-ending staycation.
Well, it's one of the reasons why there's so few units that come available at the Vendome.
Gotta love a wall with a secret. Now, how about a trip through an exquisite New York City-style brownstone with a Dallas address and ritzy amenities? Mark Moulton of Platinum Custom Homes did the interiors for this fabulous space at Regency Row in the Ritz. You're gonna love it, and it's got some great secrets to share and some cutting-edge ideas too.
You know, Regency Row is super unique. It's high-rise urban living with a typical residential condo lifestyle. I mean, that's probably the best way to describe it. You have privacy because you have your own garage. You have privacy that you can come and go without seeing a doorman. But you have all the services of the Ritz and all the amenities of a high-rise. Imagine walking up to a building and seeing this incredible architecture and seeing this incredible building, and then walking in, it looked like a World War II bomb bunker. It literally all concrete floors, concrete walls, steel stairways. Very hard to imagine it being finished. But the uniqueness of the project and the opportunity to make something really cool really intrigued me, got me excited. There are 5 total stories. Well, 6 really, because the garage is 1, which is in the basement garage. Private, secure parking, which you don't get with typical high-rise urban living. So 3 to 4 car garages, depending upon size of cars that you have, and private storage, and which you don't get with high-rise living. And you get your own private elevator. And so private high-speed elevator, it's not like these residential elevators that you hear about in these nice houses that go 1 mile an hour and it takes 10 minutes to get to 1 floor. This is a real elevator. There's the street level, which accesses to Olive Street, and that's sort of your front door. That's where you walk, the walking environment, where you can walk out your front door, walk to great restaurants, walk to Starbucks, walk to the park, walk wherever you want to walk to, and come back without going through the lobby. It gives you your privacy, so you have like your own living house environment, but you have the amenities of the high-rise. It's pretty cool. There's a couple things on how you live in it that are really unique. The outdoor patios give you a great space to go outside and enjoy the outside, but also be extremely private. The rooftop deck and the rooftop living is the unique feature that you have. It's almost a penthouse type feature. You end up having a house that feels like a penthouse. Some of the cool things that you ought to pick up on are the master bathroom cabinets. That's a car paint finish on it. So they're super high gloss. It's car paint, and so you get that reflective feel in them. And it's a very, very durable paint job in a very, very high-end finish. They're all European frameless cabinets with the highest end of hardware, solid brass hardware, soft close drawers, soft close hinges. It's the coolest stuff you can do in cabinetry right now. The kitchen is a book-matched walnut. That's European finished. All the European drawer glides, European hinges, the highest end of finish on that. And then we use solid slabs as a backsplash. So a lot of times you see like tile for backsplash, that's solid 2-centimeter slabs on the wall, which are incredibly high-end finish for this type of product. I mean, we really worked on a lot of the details on the important parts. Spend the money in the kitchen, spend the money in the master bath. And we did a good job in making those the best areas in the house.
Mark and his crew are always on the cutting edge, especially here.
What you'll notice about this space is a lot of the wall finishes If it's a smooth paintable wall, museum finish, we call it a level 4 finish. So there's no texture on the walls. It's very, very smooth. It gets to that art gallery feel on the wall textures. So that is sort of the trend that we're seeing more of. And then wallpaper. Wallpaper is back. We used an Elatis paper, which is one of the brands, designers that makes a really unique textured wallpaper. We are flush, and so we in essence install the base molding before we do the sheetrock, and the sheetrock comes down so the wall is one plane. There's not a layered effect. If you notice that there's really no light switches, we used a Lutron dimming system, so the lights are set to the dim that we want it to be. They're set to where we want it to be at the time of day, and on top of that, we don't have the wall acne, is what I call it, of all the switches on the wall to control all the different lights.
And speaking of light,
the light fixture that we have in the family room is a vintage reclaimed light that Laura Carrar sourced for another unit. And we sold the unit before we were able to use it, and I love the light fixture so much. I sort of designed this whole room around that light fixture because it was so unique.
unique is perhaps the one word that truly sums up Regency Row.
It's the sum of the little details that make it great.
That's a real one-of-a-kind opportunity. Next, we go to two different places, both high-rises, but with very different aesthetics. First, one a young woman has done that has carried her through the past several stages of her life. It's very Sex in the City.
I went through 6 units and I walked in this one, and there was a feeling I have to live here. To me, I wanted to exist here, and I could see myself living here. I believe that our home should be our softest place to land. And there's something about this place that is soft for me to land. It was unique in the aspect that you have the white, barn doors, and then you had the details of the kitchen, and everything was really thought through on an architecture standpoint. I mean, in my opinion, he hit it out of the park, down to the refrigerator, to, the components of just the blinds. And he said to me, I built this place to live. And I thought about that in the way that I can align with that he, about the details of things. Worked with Closet Karma, Charlie Turo, who's amazing, and we designed the most custom, beautiful closet. I added the London Toile, Cole & Sons wallpaper to the front room. And for me, that's a story of my first time I ever went to London. I was literally walked into this hotel, and Cole & Sons to me, the history of it, and the pink toile. Ironically, I was pregnant and I did not know that. And it was with a girl. There's so much of a story of that wallpaper that's been around for a long time. I also added bluegrass cloth that was Caitlin Wilson's exclusive design to the master bedroom. It's the warmth of it. The room's really big, and you have that component.
The collage wall is perhaps the most personal of all of the personal touches to be found in the 16th floor area.
When you think our vision board, I mean, for me, I'm reminded of things daily, and it keeps me in a place of, it tells a story. Anything from, my iris apfel here to my first, exclusive Fendi fur that I got from Karl Lagerfeld, the note there. My cousin who passed away, his letter. And so there's little components of things make the details of home, to me, a home. There's so much that this place has, a part of me. And it's moving on, because it is time. But I will miss waking up and walking down the stairs every morning and just seeing the city. And being able to sit in the living room and feel like I'm outside and it's open. And it's a component of the light that comes through. Openness and light is so important to my mood. I mean, and so I can sit on that balcony and I can feel like I am a part of the world right now. I don't get emotional that much, but I get emotional about this place. There's something about it that I truly love, and I think that it's the components of it aren't just about, a pretty home. It tells a story.
1999 McKinney, very cozy and very chic. Next, we go to the place that I deemed masculine. It's in one of the Grand Dames of Turtle Creek Boulevard, the Claridge, and apartments there are seldom available. So the interior designer was thrilled when her client, a high-tech maven, just snapped it up. It is a moody space because of the light. And so when the seasons change or the time of day, you get a whole different feel. Picture it, let's say at sunset. Maybe sunset only an hour away. Just see for yourself.
Well, the homeowner saw it initially without me and called and said, I think I found a place that I might want to buy. When can you come and look at it? So I met him up here and I walked in this front door and saw the view and fell in love with the place. I said, if you don't buy this place, I think I'll have to live here, because that's how much I believed that we could make it fantastic. The rooms weren't open. It wasn't an open plan like it is now, but walking from space to space, you could just see the incredible amount of potential. And the client has a very good eye himself, and he loves design and he loves the process, but he lets us do our job, and he really doesn't interfere, which makes it a pleasure. He's willing to take chances and let us experiment with some new ideas. We have a contractor that we really enjoy working with, and he does a lot of work in the high-rise buildings, Parmore Construction, Justin Elmore, and we really get on well, and we understand each other, and he appreciates how we work, and we appreciate his attention to detail. And it was just a really wonderful collaboration between my firm, where we did the architecture and the design, the contractor and the client. The bathroom was quite a challenge. We had to move some plumbing, and in high rises they've got to x-ray the floor and you have to get permissions. But ultimately, I always tell everyone, you move in and I give you a couple months and you will forget all about the aggravation you had during the process. The lighting. It's really one of the most critical elements in any project, however large, however small. I mean, one room or one whole home, if you don't spend the money on the lighting, you're never going to get a satisfactory result. It just doesn't seem to work. The art's all lit, but it's very subtle, so you don't feel like you've got a glaring light shining on the piece of work. Coves in the ceiling here, but they were very, very dated, like 60s, 70s. It just didn't work, so we gutted everything and created new coves. And in the entry in the master bedroom, we added wall covering in the coves just to soften it a little bit, and so that you didn't look like you were having just a sea of popped up ceilings. There was not one new piece of furniture for this home, nothing. Everything is a collection. It's part of his history. It goes back, 30, 40 years. Like these chairs over here, they've just aged and the leather's aged beautifully, and he enjoys sitting here, and I think this might be one of his favorite spots, especially to watch the sunset. He likes the Han Dynasty. He has a beautiful horse that's sitting on a table behind you that actually got damaged in one of the moves. And if you look at it now, you wouldn't know. We took it to Brown Restoration here in Dallas, and they did the most incredible job. He's traveled extensively, and he's bought a lot of pieces in China, a lot of the tapestries, the pieces in the entry. Yes, he has the pyrite piece with the fossils and a lot of artifacts. He just has really enjoyed collecting it over the years.
So, what was the verdict when the project was complete?
I don't remember exactly. He's a man of few words, very few, but I think he was so pleased. I think it exceeded his expectations, and he has high expectations. So, if a client is happy, that's just makes us all feel really, it's a huge sense of gratification and success that we were able to honor and produce and execute it to his wishes.
The homeowner loves his place, and so does our next homeowner. She loves hers, as does her husband. They've only lived there a year and a half. It's at the Bel Air, which is a series of zero lot line homes right at the corner of Turtle Creek Boulevard and Blackburn. Zero lot line except for one space. And that particular home has nearly a half acre of wooded creek with it, so our nature-loving lady of the house never wants to move. You'll see what I mean.
We started looking at high-rises, then we looked at houses, and then this was in the happy median.
Patsy and her husband moved from Austin to Dallas a couple of years ago to be closer to their North Texas ranch. This led them to a different idea for their Dallas home, something very urban.
And the house had belonged to a single man, and he was ready to get rid of it, and it was clear it needed some love. It's got these wonderful windows, so we wanted to take advantage of those and bring the light into the house. We just want to, add to, simplify, and bring it up to 2020.
From the granite to the colors to the wallpaper, everything here was carefully crafted.
We kept an eye toward nature when we selected the light fixtures, like the chandelier in the foyer, or the sconces on the stairs, or even the chandeliers in the dining room. We really wanted to support this whole inside-outside nature thing. And it's, I think, designed really well in that all of the sort of entertaining is right here on this floor, and then you can go downstairs to an office, and then most of the sleeping area is upstairs. So it makes a lot of sense for our lifestyle.
At the top of the stairs is a very interesting painting by an artist the couple knows well.
Yes, and he would hate to know that we're talking about him, but our son did some amazing pieces when he was young, and one particularly makes me think of him, and so I love having those hanging on the wall.
Husband Jack, an aficionado of Western art, is impressed with the work of Cowgirl Hall of Famer painter Donna Howell Sickles.
Donna Howell Sickles has become a good friend of ours. And so Jack asked Donna if he would do a painting of me and Scouty. And she did a wonderful job, and I just love it. To me, the most important thing that we did was restore the garden. I mean, the garden really had not had a lot of attention for a long time. It had great bones, had great design, and so we've spent a lot of time just freshening that up and adding to and bringing it back to life. People are surprised that, the garden just belongs to this unit in the middle of the city, which is kind of surprising. I mean, nobody knows that this place is here. You have no sense that you're in the middle of Dallas, Texas. Jack and I both love entertaining people. We love having people to our home and sharing that with good friends. Great conversation. We want our home to be a warm and welcoming space for anybody who walks in.
What a special place. And speaking of special, those of you who opted in for our bonus package get that special tour now. It's of a $5 million Santa Fe-style compound, or maybe a Spanish colonial hacienda on the Mediterranean. It's an extraordinary place, as you'll soon see. It's called Casa de Sueños, House of Dreams. The Roten Gallery and Compound on Wellborn is simply magical. From the light to the concept, it really was a house of dreams for the original owners. The resulting Santa Fe-style compound was a true collaboration between art lover Brian and his now-deceased wife, Kayla. Brian and his new wife, Linda, still appreciate it, even though they're leaving it behind for new adventures.
It was an idea because the house was an idea. So we were going to build something that we had dreamed about to incorporate Santa Fe and the history of the building that we bought to begin with, that we patterned it after the gallery. So we felt that, let's give it something that is Spanish, because it's the house and the gallery is Spanish colonial. So we wanted to give it a special name that was easy to remember and it had meaning. So House of Dreams is why we named it that. Well, people walk in through the gates and they see an oasis. And that really was what we wanted. We wanted a protected compound, but we also wanted an oasis. So when you stepped outside, you didn't see, the trees are mature enough now, you don't see buildings. You can sit out there and it feels like, it does feel like you're in Italy or in Spain, Santa Fe for sure. And that was our intent. The clay in here, clay is living. When it rains, it absorbs the smell of rain. So you come in here, it has this earthy smell. So it has a quiet feel in this great room and other parts of the house, because this clay also is like it absorbs sound, so it stays quiet. Beams, those are interesting because those have been laying out in a vacant lot they came from Ola Pedrita, very unique shopping center. And so we brought them, we had them cleaned up, we had them dried, and that's what we used in here were the beams from Ola Pedrita. over the years, being in the art business, I would buy and sell things, whether they're at the house or at the gallery, and it was always a contention. So we bought the paintings for this house, specifically for this house, not to be put in the gallery or even sold or what have you. So they're all very special, and they're all picked just for this house.
Probably my favorite part is out by the swimming pool and the fire pit and enjoying just feeling like you're in a resort area. It's not like anything else, and you feel like you're secluded, you're protected, and you have all of the amenities of being at a resort. So I really enjoy that as much as anything.
What we wanted to do was have nature, water moving, to create an atmosphere of nature. It really does have a feel when you're visually, but when you're outside, you hear the waterfall along with the other water features in the property to make it sound like you're not in the city of Dallas. The way that the house is positioned, and then when you add the trees, there is something about the light, and it did capture it as best we could, because my fascination with Santa Fe and Taos and Old Lyme and the Barbizon region in Europe, it's the light, and we wanted to feature the light. Seasons change. Life goes on. This was built by my wife who died and I. It's personal, so I'll always have great memories. I'll have great memories of the experience. I'll have great memories, of also of selling it, maybe to someone who's going to appreciate it as much as I did, but in a different time.
All right, everybody, what did you think? JD, what did you think?
Stunning. Incredible interviews. Thank you so much, Jocelyn.
It was so much fun.
Okay, so it's time for the big reveal. Which one was your favorite?
Okay, I could live in any of them, all of them, even the Mad Men place.
I have to agree. Really hard to choose.
You know, I want to thank everybody who participated and also our sponsor, Concierge Auctions.
Yes. I can't wait to see what happens next year for our 20th anniversary of the Tour of Homes.
See you then.